What's up, y'all? It's Ashanti here, and we are interviewing with
33.
33. Now I'm 33. What's the real story behind your brand? What was that aha moment for you?
So my brand, my music is called what I call 33. I've been doing it for about 6 going on 7 years now. I guess the aha moment as far as pursuing this passionately and seriously was just realizing that, for one, music is just so intrinsic to my soul. I grew up being a musician in different ways, playing completely different music. Now I'm doing conscious hip hop, but I grew up listening more to like punk and metal and being a vocalist doing that. But then I got into my 20s and I kind of went on a different path, which I'm still on, pursuing journalism and activism and things like that. But the music sort of went to the back for a bit. And then in 2018, I turned 33 and I started feeling this calling to express some of my healing journey, I guess you could say, and just my truth through hip hop, and because it's such a beautiful storytelling method. Whenever done right, it can really communicate an idea and a message, like a deep message. And so my music, as I said, is called 33. It originally came from my birth father died of a drug overdose, and all these songs started to come out. And none of it was necessarily good at the beginning, but I realized, I think there's something that needs to come out. And so for me, 33 is healing. It means, transmutation. It's a journey. It's a struggle. It's chaos, but it's like all these beautiful things.
Right. And so through your music, do you feel like when people listen to it, do they get more of I'm moving out of this situation, or are you also being real about how you were feeling during those situations?
It's a bit of both, actually. I think that's a great question. So I released my debut album last year. It's called Transmutation, and that's a 13-song album that takes the listener on my personal journey of like watching my father go through drug addiction, myself getting addicted to drugs at a young age. I went to prison when I was 20, and that was another big kind of life shift for me. And, I've turned my life around the last 14 years. So it's been a journey since then. And so the album is kind of like going on all those emotions, starting out with like being in this confused, depressed party mode of my life, kind of having fun, but also like there's something better, like there's something more out there for me. And then, of course, going to prison, turning my life around and doing the things I'm doing now. So that album definitely is like taking people back to places I don't really feel connected to anymore. But I know that probably other people listening might still be going through.
I love that. I love that so much, because as an artist, you really do have to be real as a human being,
Absolutely.
And show those actual emotions, because we're human and it's not like we don't have those emotions. So I love that.
Exactly.
So what are the non-negotiable values that your brand lives by?
For me, it really is just about keeping it real. Music is, especially this music, it's just an extension of everything else I do in my life, which is really, I've dedicated and committed my life the last 14 years to trying to build community, especially locally in Houston, but really internationally now, all over the world, to promote solutions like that I believe can help and empower our communities. I believe in decentralization. I believe in localization. I believe in individual and collective empowerment. And those are all ideas that my activism really touches on, but also, of course, that bleeds into what I do as an artist too, because it's ultimately one and the same. And so those values of promoting empowerment, also, there's a lot of people who, when they hear the idea of hip hop, like I hear this a lot, I'll hear from people who are not hip hop heads that they love my music, but I don't like other hip hop or this and that, because they're used to kind of maybe hip hop that doesn't have a positive message, or is degrading to women, or is about just pursuing money and certain material possessions. And so that's what they associate or think that that's all there is. And so for me, it's about bringing something different. Like I really hesitate to call my music conscious hip hop, even because I feel like that can become a box too. I just want to be able to say what I want to say. But ultimately, yeah, it is about empowerment. It is about like showing people that you can make it through hard times. For me, drug addiction, prison, etc., suicide attempts at a young age. You can go through all that, and then you can turn things around and create something better. So my message through my music is trying to connect with people on that level. And again, anybody who might be going through those struggles, hopefully help them make it through another day,
Right. And honestly, I love that you said that you don't want to box yourself in with just hip hop, because honestly, you're way more than a hip hop artist. So for your brand, what do you think was a significant, monumental change in history for you as an activist, showing that through your music?
Yeah, I would just put it back to, like I said, I was 20 years old and I was doing what most people, I don't want to say most people, but a lot of us do at that age, right out of high school, started drinking, started partying, like that, going into that. And then eventually, like within a year, finding myself homeless and then on the streets, and then getting into some crazy stuff, crystal meth and other things like that, and then getting arrested. after witnessing family members and stuff go through similar things, that was obviously a monumental moment for me because I found myself literally, I could see it, here's the path that seems pretty familiar that I've seen my father and other people go through, or here's something else. And I need to figure out, why I'm there. I started meditating and praying while I got in prison. I started journaling and just started my personal healing journey. So I don't know if without that monumental moment that I wouldn't even be necessarily on the path to a couple years later, get out, start educating myself as I got sober and as I kind of realized that I want to help the world and I want to help myself. I started learning about the drug war. Like I just got arrested for drugs. Like all these different things came from there that then now I can look back and say, wow, that was definitely the beginning of something bigger that I'm currently in the middle of.
Right. I love that. Wow. That definitely would change somebody for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And how does your brand vibe with the local scene and give back to the community?
Again, I think it's important to just contribute where we can. There's nothing wrong with growing as an artist, as an individual, as a brand, company, whatever. Of course, like I wish success for everybody, including myself. But I also think it's a beautiful thing when you can do that and still, keep your roots or help those who are still wherever you came from. And so a lot of when I first got into music, before I was even doing my own music, I started like just an individual kind of label promo thing called Visionary Noise. And all of our shows were benefit shows. So it would be like, Domestic Violence Awareness Month, raise some money for the Houston Women's Center, different causes every time. And so actually I have a show coming up on the 20th that's also, it's my EP release show, but it's also going to be a fundraiser for this. It's actually a cow sanctuary about 30, 45 minutes northwest of Houston that I just went to recently. You can go cuddle cows, no lie. And so it's like, even like with that, with my music, I still want it to be like, come out, it's going to be a good time. And of course, like I have something to share, I have a message, but if we can do that and also help some other organization or somebody doing good in the community, then that to me is like, it's a win-win-win for everybody.
Right. I love that. So within that being your goal for the event, what specifically are you aiming for? Like what is on your mind for that day for you to tackle?
So it's going to be in the evening, Thursday night, June 20th. So people who like to go out on a Thursday, if you want to have a drink or just come out and enjoy some music, Thursday, I think 8 to 11. And it's going to be like most of the shows when I organize, it's typically a mixed genre show because I, again, believe in bringing people together. So there's some like rock or heavier band, and then there's like a hip hop artist. There's obviously what I do, and then just different things, just bringing it all together because that's going to attract different types of people. And that I love seeing that when different cultures, different people, even if you live in Houston, there's still subcultures. There's still, little groupings of people that don't necessarily always cross over, so I like to bring people together. So we're going to have 3 or 4 acts. I'll be performing my whole new EP that's just coming out. It's 5 songs. It's called Still Riding. And I'm going to be performing a couple of those songs for the first time. And there's going to be just some other amazing artists that I'm excited. We're actually just about to put out the flyer and everything today. So I invite people to come check it out. Okay. That's dope. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. And then what do you think? Okay, you got to cut this out. Because to be very real with you, I did not write any of these questions. All good. And I hopped in here last minute, and I love having natural flow conversation.
Ask me whatever you want.
What else do you want to shout out for this?
I have something if I could share. Is that okay?
Most definitely.
Okay. Whatever you let me know. I'll just share what I gotta share.
How many minutes we got left?
It's gonna take 30 seconds for your time. Oh dang. Well, it's up to you wherever you want to go, or we can keep it short. I was going to share one thing with you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Is there anything else you would like to share with me?
Yeah, this is an acapella verse I want to share with you.
Okay,
that's cool.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, this is from my album Transmutation. The song's called Awakening. It's the very end of the album. So like I said, going through that journey and then sort of having an awakening. This will just share a little bit about what I really think my music represents. I've never felt more powerful than when I question the power. So full of themselves, lost in arrogance, but in reality, they're cowards. If you're searching for the devil, look no further than your government. The politicians are the puppets, but don't forget the false covenants. The false prophets, mega churches making profit, the devil's loving it. They lie to your face and you take it. Do you prefer to be ruled? Wolves in sheep clothing, they got you fooled. They pull the wool over your eyes, feed you lies while they strategize and propagandize. Come on, my brothers and sisters, this is our moment to rise. They never saw us coming, but we are the antidote to their lies. We strive for truth and liberty. We strive to be better. Humanity's made mistakes. We're not perfect, but this ain't forever. I know we're destined to build a better world we know is possible. It's gonna take struggle and making ourselves responsible for our choices and actions. We have the power to manifest that which we know we deserve. We are humanity at its best. So that's a little bit of what I do.
I love that way more than just a hip hop artist. Okay. I love that. That's what I was saying like earlier. We have these titles that really cover up that the fact that we're actually really activists in our community.
Yeah. I mean, I hesitate. Like if you look up a bio, if people look up, my full name, they'll see things like journalist, public speaker, author, like different things that those are hats and labels I can wear at different times. But yeah, ultimately, like if I had to put one thing, I just tell people I'm a free human. That's like as bare as I can get it. I'm a human being and I'm free, I'm sovereign. And in that process of being free and sovereign, I make music. I give talks, I share, information, I do that, but it's all coming back from that same like original source. That's sort of how I see it.
I love that so much. And I know that as visionaries, as we are, even with, I'm not saying that your events is simple, but it's simple enough to where that people can come and understand that we're coming together to network, but
Absolutely.
Also we're coming here to watch these different artists and these other, creators within our community. So how do you visualize your events differently from maybe even 5 years or 10 years from now?
Man, honestly, I have a big vision of not just for my personal path, but for anybody and everybody that I can collaborate and work with, because I always try to approach everything as a win-win situation, right? Even like the fact that I'm sitting here talking to you is coming through partnerships and friendships where we're like, how can we help each other? How can we keep building? And I see this person's doing something good. They see something in me. Let's keep working together where we can, right? And I'm interested in taking that internationally. I mean, I'm organizing events now. We have an event coming up in September in the UK for the first time. First time we're bringing music and a lot of these ideas and public speakers and community action. And I organize events in Mexico. It started with doing things in Houston and it continues there. But my goal really is like, how do I find the people like us in Africa and, Asia and England and Mexico, South America, et cetera, the people who care just as much about us as like doing something in the community, trying to provide an alternative view, or just get people to even think about something for once, right? How do I connect with those people on that larger scale now that we see it's possible on the local scale, which still remains important, but like just keep growing that. And thankfully, I mean, we're living in such a beautifully crazy time that we have access to technology that allows us to connect with brothers and sisters all over the world in a way that we never could before, to broadcast a message like this and somebody, in Japan could pick it up and hear it, right?
Right.
And then they take the idea and then they incorporate it into something they're doing in their community, right? And it just keeps, I just love seeing that, that win-win and just how we all grow together in that way. That's my bigger vision for my music. Like I'm planning to play in front of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people to spread these ideas. And, just as much passion as I put into my other forms of creativity, which, my activism, journalism has become my whole life. It's taken over everything in the best way. But I want to put that same passion, and I have been, into this music. So I feel like I'm still just getting started, just putting my name out there in this way. But absolutely, the vision's big.
I definitely see the vision for sure. At least I feel like I'm envisioning what you're speaking about for sure. Even what you're saying that Houston is definitely a big mixing pot of different nationalities and cultures. Even bringing together these different nationalities within our own city. Well, they definitely have connects to, people in their cities.
Sure.
So you inspiring the people in your community definitely will, like you said, spread to other communities in those other nations, really. So we can feel like one nation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely love that. You're dope too. Like, it's
good
really
to meet
nice
you. I appreciate you having me out. Yeah.
For sure. Is that it? Okay, I was like, I lose conversation. Oh, that's so dope.
Where can we find them?
Oh,
and
duh.
Also a message to our community because, we're all about cultivating.
I got you. Cool. Okay. So would you mind letting the people know where we can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my main place is just 33ishere.com. The number 33ishere.com. And you can search that on pretty much any platform and find me there. Oh, yeah. 33ishere.com. Find me there. You can find me on all social media if you just search that 33 is here. Again, the new EP Still Writing, dropping the day after the show, June 21st. It'll come out. So come to Axelrad Thursday, June 20th, and hear me perform the whole thing. And I just want to invite everybody out there, whatever you do, whatever sort of creativity you have, to keep applying it, because the world right now, I believe like we are here for a purpose. I believe we're here for a reason. I believe we're having this conversation and tuning into each other for a reason. And that this is because we all have a gift to offer right now. And I'm just trying to use whatever gift I have. And I just talk a lot. I make music. I make art. So I'm trying to use my gift. So I encourage all of you out there, step up. We need you. We're waiting for you. We're ready for you. Use your gift. Peace.